The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Get that garbage in there. Hi, my name is Ron Juckett. How are you on this Sadie Hawkins Day, the 29th day of February 2024? A leap year presentation unlike any other on Retro Sports Network. And today we play the games of Saturday, May 14th, 1988. And instead of taking Cleveland and Milwaukee for the first place in the American League East, we have one for you from Fenway Park. It's Scott Bankhead's season debut, because I know that people were asking for Scott Bankhead's debut. No, they weren't. But for purposes of the stream, yeah, they were. The Seattle Mariners actually come into this game at 18-18. They are a 500 club, maybe won their first good seasons, and their lineup, when we show it to you in a moment, isn't terrible. It's not good, but it's not terrible. The Boston Red Sox have struggled. They've only played 31 games. That's the good news. This is the 37th for the Mariners and the 32nd for the Red Sox. They also are going to go with Roger Clemens, which is why I took the game, because, look, if you're going to be a Red Sox fan of the 80s and Roger Clemens pops up as a chance, you take it. And so Roger Clemens on the hill, and one of his, maybe one of his best years with Boston was in 88. And that was coming off Cy Youngs in both 86 and 87. The Red Sox are struggling, but they did in real life. That's why that 24 home game winning streak over the middle of the summer, after they dumped John McNamara, was the amazing thing about that year. So, not a surprise the Red Sox are struggling. It's a nice day at Fenway Park. And so that's about it. It's the Red Sox and the Mariners from Saturday, May 14th, 1988, coming your way next. As Retro Sports Network presents 88 Major League Replay today from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. It's the Boston Red Sox and the Seattle Mariners. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And as you can see, it is Scott Bankhead. He's not 7-9. He's making his first start of the year. And Roger Clemens, 6-2 and even, with an earned run average of .315. Beautiful day here in Boston, 69 degrees. Winds left to right at 7. Play ball! You know what? I screwed up the area code again yesterday. I could have sworn that we were doing episode 217. It's 216. And so for my friends who live in the Cleveland area, we'll make it up to you next time. Forrest, good morning. How are you? All right, hold on a sec here, because I'm not getting my own feed. Here we go. And we don't want to record. There we go. Okay. Roger Clemens is making his 9th start of the year. Oh, by the way, he's 3-3 with a 3.15 ERA. The Rocket is 26. Jolly Roger throws a splitter at 94 and is a ground ball pitcher. His last start was 5 days ago against the Royals, where he struck out, well, for the third time this replay, a season-high 12. He got the win. 8 2/3, 147 pitches. He actually has 2 starts this year where he went 154. I guess he can go a while. All right, glad to have you along for us. 6 hits for Clemens in that game against Kansas City allowed. He gave up 2 runs, 1 earned. He walked 1 and struck out 12. When he was on, and control was something that Roger Clemens was very good at with the Red Sox. Overall, 65 2/3. 60 hits, 26 runs, 23 earned. He has allowed 5 homers. He's walked 14 while striking out a major league leading 73. And he's just slowly gotten better in each start. The Tigers lit him up on opening day, and the Twins, although he didn't lose that game on April 29th, took him for 6. So Clemens is due. Here is the Mariners lineup for you. Harold Reynolds at second will lead off. Mickey Brantley in left will bat second. Alvin Davis at first will go third. Ken Phelps, your DH. He'll clean up. Jim Presley, he's all shook up at third and will bat fifth. Dave Valley behind the plate will bat sixth. Glenn Wilson in right will go seventh. Ray Quinones, former Boston Red Sox, at short will go eighth. And Mike Kingery is in center field. He'll bat ninth. And as you saw from Clemens' numbers, he can go as long as John McNamara wants him to go. Or in my case, as long as I need him to go, he could go the distance. Here's how the Red Sox will line up defensively. Mike Greenwell, a 5 and a 3 in left. Ellis Burks, a 7 and a 5 in center. Brady Anderson is in right. He's a 6 and a 9 out there. Wade Boggs, a 7 at third. Jody Reed is at short. He's a 3. Marty Barrett, a 5 at second. Dwight Evans, a 2 at first. Rick Cerrone gets the call behind the plate, and I'd even forgotten he was there. He's a 7 and a 4. And Clemens is a 3 on the mound with a 971 fielding percentage. Harold Reynolds, a good bunter at 252, 3 homers and 12 RBI. Evans and Boggs play for the bunt. Clemens rears back. It's a ground ball to third. Boggs is on it, and he's not going to attempt to play. Reynolds has good speed down the line, and that's a base hit. So here's Mickey Brantley at 296, 5 homers and 20 RBI. Clemens from the stretch. There goes Reynolds. The throw down to Marty Barrett, and Harold has his third steal of the year. He'll steal 35 or thereabouts when all is said and done. And as with a lot of power pitchers, which Clemens certainly is, he's got a pretty good leg kick, and it's easy to time that. So a 1-strike count to Brantley, and Brantley draws the walk. So Clemens showing why he is one of the best in the business by putting the first 2 on with nobody out. A 3-1 fastball missed inside for and here's Alvin Davis. Davis off to a really slow start, almost a quarter of the way through, hitting 221, 2 homers and 10 RBI. And that's ripped into right field for a base hit. Anderson waits for it patiently to come in. Reynolds has good speed, but he's going to hold at third. And with nobody out here, the bases are loaded for Ken Phelps, who's got some power. I don't know when he goes to the Yankees. Good afternoon, Dave. How are you? Phelps at 266, 7 homers and 24 RBI. Now, 190 real at-bats. He had 14 homers. So Clemens in the frying pan already. Needs a strikeout. Won't get it. That's into right field for a hit. Reynolds is going to score. Brantley has good speed, but he'll hold. And the Mariners are playing Earl Weaver baseball. So 1-0. There is still nobody out for Jim Presley. Elvis at 282, 3 homers and 14 RBI. Struck him out. Clemens finally got him. Strike 3 called. 1 out for Dave Valley. A pretty good catcher in his own right. 50 degrees colder in Rochester than it was yesterday. Wind chill here today is 5, Dave. It's 21 degrees. That's the actual air temperature. You can still hear the wind. When we got together yesterday, it was 58. So the air temperature is 38 degrees cold, or 37 degrees colder than it was 24 hours ago. 1 out, pitch to Valley. Line drive right to Dewey, and everybody scampers back 2 away. Should make the play-by-play box bigger. Where's ballpark? No, that's fine. So what is the temperature in San Diego? Mind you, our pitchforks have been resharpened. Glenn Wilson at 235, no homers and 9 RBI. Red Sox will be lucky if they can hold Seattle to just 1 here. Clemens kicks and fires. Ground ball to Reed. Jody's got it. Goes to first to Dewey, and that will retire the side. So the Mariners load the bases but can only get 1. They'll leave on 3 hits, and after half an inning, it's Seattle 1. Here come the Red Sox. So Scott Bankhead making the first of his 21 starts. He's available as of today in all fine stores in the Pacific Northwest. He's 25 years old. Fastball at 90 and a fly ball pitcher. So I don't know if there was an injury or if they brought him up from Tacoma. In real life, 7 and 9, an earned run average of 307. He made 21 starts, 135 innings, 115 hits, 53 runs, 46 earned, 8 homers. He walked 38 and struck out 102. Snowing heavily in southwest Washington in the Vancouver area, and 37 degrees at 9:10 a.m. on Sadie Hawkins Day. Here's Ellis Burks. He'll lead off in center field for Boston. Marty Barrett will bat second and play second. Wade Boggs cleans up at bats third and plays third. Dewey Evans cleans up at first. Mike Greenwell in left will bat fifth. 58. That's actually kind of chilly for San Diego in February, ain't it? High is 64 today down there. Sam Horn, the DH, will bat sixth. Rick Cerrone actually caught 84 games behind the plate, batting seventh. Jody Reed at short goes eighth. Brady Anderson in right will bat ninth. He's about more than halfway through his time before Mike Boddicker will come over. And Bankhead can go 7. 105 pitches. Defensively for Seattle, Mickey Brantley a 4-2 and left. Mike Kingery is a 6 and a 9 in center. Glenn Wilson a 5 and a 10 in right. So those arms in right and center are pretty gosh darn good. Jim Presley a 4 at third. Ray Quinones, who knows his infield, is a 5 at short. Harold Reynolds a 10 at second. Alvin Davis a 4 at first. Valley an 8 and a 6 behind the plate. And Bankhead, not a great range for a pitcher. He's a 2 with a 1,000 fielding percentage. It's just been weird everywhere, Forrest. We had 60 yesterday. We're supposed to be 65 next week. Ellis Burks stepping in at 333, 4 homers and 15 RBI. And he laces this one right back to Bankhead. Hello, Happy New Year, 1 out. So here's Marty Barrett. Marty at 308. No homers and 12 RBI. To first, Davis has it, makes a good play, takes it to the bag, 2 out. Clemens, by the way, threw 32 pitches in the first. Wade Boggs at 398, and I forgot to change the stats to the American League. I just remembered that. A home run and 21 RBI. Bankhead from the wind, and Boggs laces that up the middle. And he's at 400 again, right? 404. His page is not found. Here's Dwight Evans. Dewey at 319. 3 homers and 14 RBI. In the left, Brantley doesn't even really have to move. That will retire the side. The Red Sox get a hit, leave on a runner, and that's it. After 1, Mariners 1, Red Sox nothing. So 8, 9, and 1 for Seattle. Quinones, Kingery, and Reynolds. Ray at 270. A home run and 11 RBI. It's a base hit into left center field. Greenwell will cut it off. So Roger Clemens has decided to pitch with a poopy diaper, I guess. Jody Reed should have had it. He'll figure it out. Although he is 26. He will slide over to second. And although Marty Barrett, I'll talk about that when Marty's up again. Mike Kingley at 247, a home run and 6 RBI. Quinones not a threat to steal. Into right field and well struck. Anderson in the corner. Brady's got it. And Quinones goes back to first. So Clemens is throwing some pitches that can be hit. Here's Harold Reynolds. Harold singled, scored, and stole a base his first time up. Opening 9 for Roger, not so jolly. 40 pitches, inning and a third, 4 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Little ground ball to Barrett. Marty goes to Reed for 1. Reynolds is going to reach as the throw from second is late. So 4-6 on the fielder's choice, 2 out for Mickey Brantley, who walked his first time up. Ground ball to Dewey. Evans takes it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. The Mariners get a hit, and that's it. After an inning and a half, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Seattle's left on 4, but the lead 1-0. So the Gator, Mike Greenwell hitting pat. 314, 3 homers, and 23 RBI. Horn and Cerrone to follow here in the second. Into right, Wilson makes it the catch for the out, 1 away. Forrest, is that what you do? Are you a property manager? Here's Sam Horn hitting .063. He is 2 for 32. And he draws the walk. Not everyone pass out with that. Horn has my speed. 1 out for Cerrone, who's hitting .288. No homers and 12 RBI. Ground ball to third. Might be 2. Presley to Reynolds for 1. Harold pivots, but does not throw. Because Sam Horn and that svelte body of his did the roadblock slide, and there's 2 out. For Jody Reed, hitting .306. No homers and 7 RBI. To third, Presley, I think, is going to play it. Well, he's going to go to first. Davis is there, and Jody is retired, and now take care of the Red Sox here in the second. No runs, no hits that leave on a runner, no errors. And after 2 here at Fenway, 1-0 Seattle. So Davis, Phelps, and Presley to face Clemens here in the third. Alvin singled his first time up. Hard ground ball by the bag at second. Barrett's got it over to Dewey. 1 out. Again, Clemens just putting a lot of balls in play. There's Ken Phelps. And a DRBI for Seattle. Okay. Forrest, who's got some properties up in Southwest Washington, is an investor. Good for you. Ground ball to Dewey. Dwight has it, underhands it to Clemens, and Phelps is retired. So 2 away here in the third for Presley. Jim is the lone strikeout victim for Clemens. From the wind. Left center field. Burks retreats, makes the catch, and that's finally a 1-2-3 inning. They're hitting him hard. So Clemens just kind of shakes his head, although he's got a lot of mileage on that arm in the early going. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Bottom of the third here at Fenway, 1-0 Seattle. So Anderson, Burks, and Barrett here in the third. Brady at 267 with a triple and 6 RBI. Quinones has it by the bag at second, over to Davis, and Anderson tries to stretch like he's a sprinter, but he's out. So opening 9 for Bankhead on his season. 35 pitches, 2 1/3, a hit and a walk. Ellis Burks is 0 for 1. Oh, you were an aerospace engineer. In San Diego, huh? How you doing, John? Pitch to Burks. Ellis swings, ground ball to Quinones. Ray throws it to first. for the out. Of course, on the West Coast, Edwards is pretty big. So far, so good. So here's Marty Barrett. Now, because of Jerry Remy and what he meant to the Red Sox organization as a whole, and really what Dustin Pedroia did when they finally started to win, Marty Barrett and his contributions to the Red Sox kind of got flushed out. You would win some money in a bar bet if you had told them that Marty Barrett was the 1986 ALCS MVP. So Forrest knows the West Coast pretty well. Pitch to Barrett. Ground ball, Quinones as he waits for it over the mound, throws to first, and Marty is retired. Red Sox go in order, no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the fourth, it's Seattle 1, Boston nothing. So Valley, Wilson, and Quinones to face Clemens here in the fourth. Struck him out. Only the second for Clemens. A 1-2 curveball inside. Scotty says he's watching from his friend's farm east of Vancouver in the Hawkinson area. So if you know that, good for you. He lives 260 miles north up by the border in Bellingham. And he comes down once a month to watch the goats. Those must be some pretty special goats if you travel almost 300 miles. Glenn Wilson is 0 for 1. Clemens fires. Struck him out. So we got a good morning and a good afternoon. A full count fastball. Chased it. 2 away for Quinones, who singled his first time up. And it gets away from Cerrone on strike 3. The throw down to Dewey, and that will retire the side. Clemens gets a good night. Strikes out the side after 3.5. 1-0 Seattle. So I forgot to change it to the American League. Forget the stats. You don't really care about those in the American League game. The Pirates, I looked it up today. They actually finished second behind the Mets in real life, 15 games out. They are in first for the Mets, 1 out. And then St. Louis and Montreal are 5 back. Reds a half game up on the Dodgers. San Diego playing 500 ball. Forrest jump up and down. In the American League, Cleveland a half game up on Milwaukee. The Red Sox are 4.5 out. And in the West, Seattle at 500 is 4.5 behind Kansas City. Minnesota and Oakland is starting to run. Scotty says special friends, 6 goats are a bonus and a couple dogs and a cat. That's awesome. Here's Wade Boggs. He singled his first time up. The lone hit for the Red Sox, and again, he can't be found. He's hitting .404. Rips this one to first. Davis gobbles it up. 1 out. And now we can find him because he's hitting .400. Dwight Evans is 0 for 1. I'm sure the Mariners will take what Bankhead has given them and run. Struck him out. That's his first strikeout of the year. A 2-2 breaking ball on the outside. Here's Mike Greenwell. He's 0 for 1. Ground ball over the mound. Quinones won't make a throw. So Greenwell reaches on the infield hit. That hit the back of the mound and just took a funny hop, and Quinones just needed to wait a split second before he could get it. So here's Sam Horn. Sam walked his first time up. Popped up. Reynolds behind the bag at second on that Raymaker, makes the catch, and we're through 4. Red Sox get a hit, and that's it. No runs, no errors. They left on 3. And after 4, it's 1-0 Seattle. So Kingery, Reynolds, and Brantley, as Seattle will flip the lineup here in the 5th. Mike is 0 for 1. Struck him out. That's 4 straight for Clemens. He got him to chase a hard curve. 1 out for Reynolds. Harold 1 for 2. Stolen base and a run scored. Opening 9 or 18 rather for Clemens. 4 1/3, 86 pitches, 4 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Ray Quinones replaced Omar Vizquel when the Mariners decided that little O was too old. Then he went to Cleveland. Actually, I saw Vizquel in the summer of '88. And Reynolds draws the walk. Here in Burlington, before I lived here in Burlington, Mickey Brantley's 0 for 1 with a walk. And I got to watch some kid named Griffey take batting practice. Oh. All that in a bag of chips. Throw down to Barrett. Reynolds is thrown out trying to steal. It was close. It wasn't a good jump. And there's 2 outs as Clemens settles in here. And a 1-strike count. Ground ball to third. Boggs has it. Over to Evans. And we're halfway home. Again, 37 degrees cooler today than it was when we were with you yesterday. And after 4.5, it's the Mariners 1, the Red Sox nothing. Oops. Well, like the idiot I am, I went to open up a tab and instead closed my web browser. Ha ha! If you joined us late, I'm still an idiot, and the Mariners lead the Red Sox 1-0, 1-4-0 for Seattle. Red Sox have 2 hits. The lone run came in the first. Ken Phelps singled home Harold Reynolds to make it 1-0 Seattle. Scott Bankhead in his season debut, 4 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Roger Clemens getting to be Roger Clemens, although his pitch count is high. It's at 94 through 5. 4 hits, a run, earned run. Let's see if I can do this right this time. He has walked 2 and struck out 5. And the reason why I was doing that, because I wanted to make sure I had the name right. The Yankees could use a guy like Ken Phelps, absolutely. And the Mariners can use Shea Buhner. Cerrone, Reed, and Anderson here in the 5th. Rick is 0 for 1. Ground ball, foul, third base side. Somebody from Quincy made that play. Turned into a good one. Yeah, for the Mariners. Not for the Yankees. Yeah, I looked at Phelps' numbers there. I'm not sure what Steinbrenner was thinking. Didn't seem all that speedy. Cerrone, it's a ground ball to third. Presley has it over to Davis. Alvin has it 1 out. Of course, yesterday came the extremely sad news that Stacy Wakefield lost her battle with pancreatic cancer just 5 months after Tim Wakefield lost his short battle with brain cancer. If there is a silver lining in that, and it's really a stretch to say as Jody Reed is 0 for 1, is that both of the Wakefield children are borderline adults. They're 19 and 20 years old or something close to that, so it wasn't like they're in the single numbers or that. They're both high school graduates. It doesn't make it any easier, of course. But, just absolutely gutted. And she was 53, which is what I turned this year. And so you never want to see anyone in their early 50s go. Just absolutely crushing to see that. It was not a surprise, but still very sad nonetheless. Pitch to Reed. Ground ball to Davis. Alvin takes it to the bag for the out, and Reed is retired. 2 out for Brady Anderson, who's 0 for 1. Grade A people, from what I understand. I mean, you're never going to hear anyone say a bad word about Tim or his wife. Ground ball to Davis, and Alvin scoops it up, takes it to the bag, and Anderson is retired. Red Sox putting on a contact show. Second great play for Davis on the year. And after 5, it's still 1-0 Seattle. Speaking of Alvin Davis, he'll lead off the 6th. Phelps and Presley to follow. Alvin has 1 of Seattle's 4 hits. He's got himself a single. To Barrett, Marty has it, throws to Evans, 1 out. Brings up Ken Phelps. Ken was 1 for 2. Does have power. I wonder if that's what Steinbrenner was after. And drove in his 25th with Seattle. Clemens almost on a... Well, this will be his 100th pitch with 1 out in the 6th. Into right center. Anderson moving over. Makes the grab. 2 out. Jim Presley is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. To short. Reed's got it. Throws to Evans at first. And another 1, 2, 3 innings. So Clemens pitching well in the middle innings after a shaky first 2. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the 6th, 1-0 Seattle. So top of the lineup, Bankhead. Scotty, was he hurt or did they call him up? He's making his first start of the year. Let's see how much of Scotty's brain cells are. So look up this obscure fact from 1988. It's only been 36 years. I can't believe you don't remember it. Ellis Burks is 0 for 2. Bankhead in his season debut, 18 batters, 5 innings, 70 pitches. They'll take it. 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. And he pitches well to righties. To third, Presley has it. Over to Davis. Keep the ball down. Good things happen. 1 out for Marty Barrett is 0 for 2. Didn't expect this one to be quite as much of a pitcher's duel. You told me it was 1, Clemens had only given up a run through 6. I would have been surprised. But the Red Sox have not helped him out. Quinones over to Davis. 2 out. For Wade Boggs, who has 1 of the 2 hits. Mike Greenwell has the other. Wade's got a single. Popped up. Valley to the screen. And I don't think he's going to have room. He does not, and the count goes to 2-2. Not a lot of foul room behind home plate. So Boggs digs back in. A 2-2 count. Boston needs to bring in Morgan early. I never understood the whole point of putting Boggs third in the lineup. If you look at those numbers, he had 214 hits, but he walked 125 times. It's not. You want a good eye, but you need that to lead off, which is what he did mostly in '86. Pitch to Boggs, struck him out. How about that? No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the 7th here at Fenway Park. It's the Mariners 1, the Red Sox nothing. So Valley, Wilson, and Quinones to face Clemens here in the 7th. Clemens on the wrong end of a 1-0 game. To third, Boggs will scarf it up. Has to make a snap throw. Valley not blessed with speed, and Dave is out. Actually, Forrest, for the second time because the first one didn't get recorded. Dave Cook did a presentation last night. I didn't catch it because I was at the first one for Sabre. And he talked a little bit about that the first time. Here's Glenn Wilson. He's 0 for 2 with the strikeout. I will say this. All 5 of the Action PC products are accurate. Extremely accurate. But you get enough variability to know that it's honest. Pitch to, well, Henry Cotto pinch hit? Yeah. So Glenn Wilson's day is done. Wonder what Cotto is as a fielder. We're about to find out. Midlife crisis, if you were right about why they made the change. Henry does not have a pinch hit. Overall, 255, 5 homers, and 18 RBI. Got good speed, too. He stole 27 bases and 386 at-bats. 1 out. Clemens again from the wind. Up the middle. Barrett has it by the bag at second. Over to Evans for the out, 2 away. Here's Quinones, 1 for 2. Ray has singled and struck out. Hard ground ball, and Dewey just can't make the play. It hit off the back of his glove. That's his 5th there. He's not a good first baseman. Or at least he wasn't in an 88. It just bounced off his glove. Quinones will hold. That's the first error for anybody. And here's Kingery, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Yeah, Sabre, the Society of American Baseball Researchers. Struck him out. That's 6. Stretch time, 1-0 M's. Dwight Evans strolls to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Jamie says, one thing about the engine is that the game determines the location of the ball. Does the player have the range to get it, field it cleanly, make a good throw, and does the first baseman field it cleanly? That would be about 100 rolls in cards and dice. That sounds a lot like Status Pro, doesn't it? You flip a card for this, ding, flip a card for that, doom, flip a card for that, dung. One of the things I was surprised when I did the first Dog and Pony show was that this actually was a card and dice game back in the 80s. Pitch to Evans. Ground ball to Reynolds. Harold's got it. Throws to first for the out. 1 out for Greenwell. Mike is 1 for 2 with a single. Bankhead has given the Mariners their money's worth and a heck of a lot more this afternoon. Into left center, Kingery going back, but that will stay in the yard, and that's an out. Very little wind, 72 degrees, beautiful day here in Boston. Jamie says the one thing where this game shines is almost anything can happen at any time. As someone who has talked about how much he doesn't really like rare plays in games, I think Action PC does it extremely well. Here's Sam Horn. I think it's time to find someone else to be a DH, don't you? Who can hit a righty? You really think I'm going to do a Red Sox game and not use Jim Rice? Jim had at 235, 6 homers, and 21 RBI. He has a stolen base. Would you believe that? What pitcher fell asleep on the mound for Rice to get a stolen base in 88? Pitch to Jimmy is a fly ball, right center field, hit hard, but Kingery can get there, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 8th, 1-0 Seattle. So probably the last inning for Clemens, who's turned out with pretty good numbers here. Top of the lineup. So after 27 batters, 122 pitches for Roger. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Harold, 1 for 2. Stolen base, a walk, and a run scored. And Reynolds draws the walk. So we'll keep an eye on Reynolds. He has a stolen base and a caught stealing. Yeah. Here's Brantley. 0 for 2 in the walk. Years ago, Scotty says, not sure what was up with Bankhead. Started 21 games. Dick Williams was on his way out. Oh, is that who the manager is? But didn't seem to care that much. They're on the verge of being okay. Once they get that father and son combo, that's pretty good. Mickey Brantley's 0 for 2 with a walk. See if they hit a run here. Reynolds goes. The throw down to Barrett. Reynolds is caught stealing again. So 1 out. Clemens is thankful for that. Nobody on and a 1-ball strike to Brantley. Up the middle, Reed will gobble it up. Throws to Evans for the out. 2 away for Alvin Davis. Alvin is 1 for 3. It's a fast game. We're in the 8th inning, and it's 12:40. High ground ball to Evans, and this time he'll take it himself, and that will retire the side. Have I jinxed myself? We'll find out. No runs, no hits, and no errors. That should be it for Jolly Roger. After 7.5, it's still 1-0 Seattle. So Cerrone, Reed, and Anderson to face Scott Bankhead here in the 8th. Forrest just can't imagine the feeling of playing on a major league team with a dad or a son. And there's a great clip from 1990 in Anaheim against the Angels when the Griffey family goes back-to-back. In the left center, they're hitting him a bit harder, but right at him, Kingery has it 1 away for Jody Reed, who's 0 for 2. Fly ball, right center. Kingery has it, and there's 2 out for Anderson. Just insane indeed. We're going to pinch hit here. So Benzinger does have a pinch hit home run. Overall, 273, a homer, and 10 RBI. And I got to remember to put Evans in right first. Benzinger in the left center, and that's the 3rd hit. So the Red Sox have the tying run on. 2 out for Ellis Burks, who was 0 for 3. Bankhead again. Seattle will take this. 103 pitches, 27 batters, 7 2/3. 3 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. 1-0 Seattle. 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th. To Quinones, Reyes got it over to Reynolds, and that will retire the side. So Bankhead getting some pats on the back as we go to the 9th. No runs, a hit, and no errors. And after 8, 1-0 Seattle. So Dewey moves to right. He's a 6 and an 8. Benzinger not much better than Dewey at first. He's a 2. And Clemens is going to be done. We're not going to go with Lee Smith. We're going to go with Dennis Lamp. Lamp is 36. Fastball at 83, a ground ball pitcher. 12th appearance, no record, a 5.79 ERA. Scotty says playing Action PC basketball 95, 96, and impressed with the AI 20 games in. Was looking at the stats and surprised how accurate the minutes played are for the AI teams, and most stats are within reason. Yeah, the Red Sox bullpen is always shaky, and Lamp with the duct tape Groucho Marx mustache, no exception. Last pitched May 7th in 11-8 loss. 2 innings, 34 pitches, 3 hits, a run it was earned, and a strikeout. 14 innings, 21 hits, 9 runs, all earned. He walked 4 and has struck out 7. Just 2 bad outings, 1 against Texas and 1 against the White Sox. And those 7 of those 9 runs has kind of ballooned Lamp's ERA. So let's reset the Red Sox defense for you. Greenwell, Burks, and Evans in the outfield. Evans is 6 and an 8. Boggs at third, Reed at short, Barrett at second, and Benzinger, who's a 2 at first. And Cerrone and Lamp are the battery. Phelps is 1 for 3. A single and RBI. That came in the first. The lone run of the ballgame. And Phelps draws the walk. I'm assuming that you're playing Seattle, Scotty. Jim Presley is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. And Edgar Martinez is going to pinch hit. So Presley out, Edgar in. Edgar doesn't have a pinch hit. 3 for 13. He doesn't look like he was up. He only had 32 at-bats. Hitting .231 with an RBI. Drops one down. Cerrone throws to Barrett, and Marty's there for the out. So 1 out. Phelps, the insurance runner, on second for Valley. Hengel is the new right fielder for Seattle. Valley is 0 for 3. That's Dave Hengel. Not even a household name in his own house. They'll pitch to Valley. Gets away from Cerrone, and Phelps moves on to third. So a wild pitch and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Red Sox need to keep this a 1-run game. So Valley is given first. He tries to take the bag and said, no, we're not giving you first. You can lease it. You can't own it. So runners on first and third for Hengel. It was 3 for 11 on the year, hitting .273. Struck him out. A huge out for Lamp. An 0-2 curveball got him looking. So 2 out for Quinones, who's 1 for 3. Has singled and struck out. Lamp, deep breath. Got him, and they get around the jam. He strikes out 2. He chased a fastball out of the zone. We go to the bottom of the 9th. No runs, no hits. The Mariners have now left on 7. And after 8.5, it's Seattle 1, Boston nothing. So Barrett, Boggs, and Evans to face Bankhead, who stays in the game at least to start the inning. I think Dick Williams is watching golf on television. Marty Barrett is 0 for 3. Bankhead starts the inning. Line drive to Reynolds, 1 out. Scotty says, yeah, I don't usually replay the teams that I was so close to. You weren't. Wow, you went to 21 games that year. How fun is that? And then got to see all the playoff games. That is the year the Bulls won 70. Here's Wade Boggs, who ate 70 pieces of chicken. He's 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Fly ball, right center field. Kingery is there. Red Sox, as Julio Solano will come in. With 2 out, 1 to tie, and 2 to win. Solano looking for a save. He's 2-0 with an 0.68 ERA. He'll be gone in June 9th. He's 28. Fastball at 89. And a fly ball plus pitcher. He pitched last night in a Red Sox 10-3 win. 2/3 of an inning, 8 pitches and a hit. Overall, 13 1/3, 9 hits, 1 run, 9 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So 2-0 with 3 saves. He split a season ticket the last 14 years. That's awesome. So it'll be Dewey, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Nobody on, 2 out. As we said, last chance saloon. The good news is 1 to tie if you're a Red Sox fan. The bad news is you need 2 to win. And Solano strikes him out, and it's a 1-0 ball game. Seattle has won by the score of 1-0. So 2 hours and 57 fake minutes. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. The Mariners go to 19-18, and they leave on 7. The Red Sox, no runs, 3 hits and an error, and they leave on 4. And it goes without saying that Scott Bankhead, in his 1988 debut, is your Digital Dice MVP. 8 2/3 of 3-hit ball, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Not a bad opening act. Solano picks up his 4th save. Clemens, he just made a couple bad pitches the first couple innings. 8 innings, 4 hits. A run, it was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 6. Lamp goes the 9th. He walked 2 and struck out 2. So for the moment, Seattle 4 back, and the Red Sox fall to 5 back. Tallulah Bankhead gets the win. So let's play the rest of this Saturday in baseball for you. Tigers beat the Twins 7-1. Frank Tanana 5-2. Les Straker 2-2. Matt Noakes 2 for 4, 6th, and drive into. Bankhead cursing the AI manager, taking the shutout from him. You can blame Dick Williams. Yankees beat the Angels 5-3. Tommy John, speaking of ageless, 5-1. Petrie 2-6 on the year. Mattingly 3 for 4, his 3rd of the year, and drives in 2. Cleveland 7-6 over Milwaukee. Chris Cordioli 3-0. Dan Plesac 1-1. Pat Tabler 3 for 4, 2 RBI and a double. Houston beat the Cubs 5-1 at the Dome. Nepper 2-1. Nepper and Nipper 1-3. Young 2 for 5, a triple and a stolen base. Scotty says, "Yep, the M's had a musical bullpen." Michael Jackson and Jerry Reed. When you're hot, you're hot. Hee hee. And when you're not, you're not. Uh-oh. Mets beat the Giants 5-2. Ron Darling, yes, honey, 4-2. Kruko falls to 2-2. Roger McDowell picks up his first save of the year. Oakland down the Orioles 9-6. Bob Welch 4-3. Speaking of future Boston Red Sox, Mike Boddicker goes to 2-4. Joe Orsulak 3 for 6 for the Orioles, his first of the year, and drives in 2. There's going to be some good ones, I think. I wasn't expecting there to be, but everything right now is pretty tight. Reds shut out the Pirates 6-0. Mario Soto picks up his first win. He's 1-5. Dunn 2-2. Cal Daniels keeping the home fires burning. Gets 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. Blue Jays down the White Sox 6-1. John Cerruti 1-3. Glens Falls native Dave LaPointe falls to 3-3. Kelly Gruber 3 for 4, a triple and a stolen base. Oakland, by the way, walked 10 and still won that game. In 12, Kansas City down Texas 6-3. Steve, I'm not Jamie Farr 1-2. Cecina 2-1. And Brett did something. The Reds are overperforming, I'm being told in my ear. Atlanta goes to 7-25. They get a rare win. They beat the Cardinals in St. Louis 3-1. There's an ID Just a Rant coming from that. Zane Smith 2-4 for Atlanta. Peters falls to 1-3. Ozzie Virgil 2 for 4, his 3rd of the year, and drives in 2. Phillies steal 5 and put the 7 spot on the Dodgers 7-2. Don Sutton takes a loss. I'm sure those are appearances that you don't want to remember. He's 2-2. Ruffin is 2-3. Thompson, 2 for 3 with 2 stolen bases. Last but not least, sorry, Forrest, 6-2, Montreal beats San Diego. El Presidente, Denny Martinez goes to 3-3. Eddie Whitson falls to 3-4. Andres Galarraga, 2 for 3, is 11th of the year, by the way, and drives in 2. What is on the docket? Kansas City and Minnesota. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else that might knock that one off. Yeah, I think we go with that. So that will be the broadcast for you tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. It'll be the Royals and the Twins, the top 2 teams in the American League West. Well, that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ron Juckett. So Friday baseball for you, and then we'll be with you Monday at noon Eastern for a doubleheader, right? I might. That's the John game that he wants. He wants Oakland and New York because he was there. All right. As always, thank you very much. We'll talk to you then. So long, everybody.